Iwobi. Samu Chukwueze here working against Casemiro, a couple of La Liga players. Osimhen arrives ahead of Marquinhos. Again, the cross looking for Simon, won in the air by Dani Alves. Coutinho dispossessed by Ndidi. Nice turn by Osimhen, but dispossessed by Artur. Ndidi fires. Ederson collects.
Victor Osimhen has been running the channel so well, always making himself available, opening a passing avenue, pulling defenders out of position. We saw Thiago Silva, who was running to close him down on that last play.
Firmino. Options in front of him, but he waits for Artur. Alves. Artur. Gabriel Jesus with his back to goal. You get the sense that things just got real for Brazil. They didn't expect to be down 1-0. They were relatively comfortable, but there were a few warning shots for Victor Osimhen. Simon.
And except for the fact that Brazil have not scored in this game,
Artur dispossesses Iwobi. They can't wrestle him to the ground. Losing his balance here. They're not going to give the foul.
This is a clear foul. The referee gives Artur the advantage. He can't control the ball. I think it should have been called back. They should have had an opportunity. Collins clearly fouling him. A stiff arm to the face. Good strength shown by Artur.
The bizarre thing you could see there in the replay, the referee, Johnson Fu, was gesturing for the advantage. None materialized, but he gave the goal kick.
Yeah. And just to go back to the point that I was making, except for the fact that Brazil have not scored in this game, in terms of momentum changes, this has gone exactly the same way as their match against Senegal. Very strong in the beginning with clear-cut opportunities, and then Senegal slowly working into the game and sniffing out those defensive frailties that Brazil were showing.
Brazil have now conceded in 5 straight games, going back to the Copa America final against Peru, which they won. Gave up 2 goals to Colombia in the draw, 1 to Peru in the friendly loss, 1 to Senegal last week, and now, again, they have conceded this time against Nigeria. And here come the Super Eagles again with Victor Osimhen.
There was that earlier attempt when Everton tried to get past Chukwueze with a little bit of trickery. And I think what that did was made Chukwueze mad, and all of a sudden he's strutting his stuff down that right-hand side, causing all sorts of trouble, and he looks like a very confident player. So he should be, given the career that he's forging at Villarreal in La Liga.
Long switch by Casemiro. Here's Everton working against Awazian. Everton looking for an opening. Artur. Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus squared in, and it's the captain Ekong to clear the danger. Corner kick given to Brazil.
Collins showed a little bit too much space to Gabriel Jesus. He was inviting Gabriel Jesus to go through the outside, but just a little bit too much space there. And Gabriel Jesus has all the wily to get past him. An initial burst of speed.
Outswinger from Coutinho. Artur. Renan Lodi. This is Everton with plenty of targets in the 18. To force the issue. 5 minutes left in this opening half. Brazil trail a goal to 0 after João Aribo's opener in the 35th minute. Artur. Very tight lines now, just around the edge of the 18 for Nigeria. Brazil do have time to think on the ball. It's intercepted by Awazian.
And that was lucky because Chukwueze fell asleep on that run.
Victor Osimhen brought down by Renan Lodi, and a free kick awarded to Nigeria. Played a little quickly for Osimhen's liking.
He's been terrific in this game.
Got to keep in mind, he's only 20 years old. Got so much football ahead of him. Luis Campos has his sights set on you, then you've been doing something right.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable footballing director.
Switch by Artur. Dani Alves is caught offside. Luis Campos, for those not familiar, the sporting director at Lille, the man who built the team that won the Ligue 1 title with Monaco, although he was gone by the time that Leonardo Jardim led that team to the promised land. But he was the man buying the ingredients and now doing the same for Lille, and it's not a coincidence that he departs Monaco, Monaco stumble, he arrives at Lille, and Lille go from a relegation contender to a Champions League club.
And the man who replaced him at Monaco, Michael Emenalo, who was at Chelsea before that, already on his way out from the Principality because he hasn't been able to do the same as Luis Campos, which is unsurprising.
By the way, there's another Luis Campos gem on the bench for Brazil today. Fabinho. Spotted him at Rio Ave in Portugal before taking him to Real Madrid Castilla.
I was going to mention that before. Fabinho, one of his big signings.
Here's Everton. Renan Lodi. Coutinho finding a bit of space in the area, squared back. And Samu Chukwueze won't get there. Brazil will have a throw.
That was good movement from Coutinho, finding a little bit of space in the box, untracked. And good defensive cover at the end.
Firmino working against Ekong. Casemiro goes down by Moses Simon and a bit too aggressively.
And that's a silly foul from a player who's not used to defending too much. And this usually is range for Neymar. Coutinho will take responsibility for this one. But one thing about Nigeria defensively is that they're doing very well of communicating with each other, whom to pick up, what spaces to take up. It's been effective. We saw Ndidi motioning to his captain Ekong to pick up Bobby Firmino as he tried to move towards the wing to open up a little bit of space for runners to get in from behind him. Well organized, well regimented, this Nigerian national team so far in this game.
5 on the wall for Francis Usoho. Roughly a yard away, Everton and Casemiro. It is Coutinho who strikes it just wide of the target.
And from this angle, that did not miss by much. And he had Uzoa scrambling to reach it. Just looking for placement at that near post. That was inches away. Maybe Uzoa had it covered.
Final minute of first half normal time. Everton. Ball pinging around in midfield and finally settled here by Thiago Silva. They'll build to Artur. Gabriel Jesus, nice turn in front of the goal scorer Aribo. This is Coutinho. Renan Lodi trying to get around Awaziam. It's well marked by the center back, turned right back. Iwobi. Now Samu Chukwueze with a chance to break. A chance cut out by Casemiro.
Again, it's just so disciplined in terms of the defensive positioning from Nigeria. The constant shifting. And Ndidi is the man just controlling everything, pointing everywhere, asking players to move into different positions. Very difficult for Brazil to break through that defensive wall.
Just 1 minute added on. We'll play to the end of this 46th. Osimhen turns away from traffic and poked away by Thiago Silva. Maybe one last chance for Brazil to level before the break. Marquinhos. Headed forward by Dani Alves. Firmino knocks it down for Gabriel Jesus. There was contact, but no foul in the view of Johnson Fu.
It's Collins and Gabriel Jesus who knock into each other.
probably should have been a foul given against Jean-Milou Collins.
I agree. He was late to get there.
Well, we don't know how much longer he'll be manager of Nigeria, but we know that he has them up a goal to nil at the break. Claims that 3 months, some $150,000 worth of salary are still owed to him, and Nigerian FA putting out a statement saying that the only money owed to him is from September and it is being processed. Meanwhile, the manager of the Nigerian women's team, Thomas Dennerby, has resigned over unpaid wages. The off-the-field stuff continues to haunt Nigeria. In a single year, both the youth side, the women's side, and the men's threatened to boycott due to unpaid bonuses. But they lead the 5-time world champions and reigning South American winners at the moment. It's Brazil 0, Nigeria 1, with Joe Aribo scoring his second goal in as many games for the Super Eagles.
Lowe's knows you're the deal hunter who does things right, who's armed with research and finally ready to roll. We do it right too, with huge savings on the brands you want. So happy hunting. Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
That's half the fun of a new house, seeing what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowners insurance with Geico's help was pretty fun too.
Oh, it's a tiny dancer.
They left a ton of stuff up here.
Well, enjoy your house.
Nope. No, thank you.
Geico could help you save on homeowners and renters insurance.
If your joints feel stiff, sore, and achy, it will get worse if you do nothing.
But most products just temporarily hide the symptoms.
Now there's something different. Instaflex Advanced.
It targets the root cause of joint soreness and stiffness. It doesn't just cover up symptoms.
Instaflex Advanced bathes your joints in its cutting-edge combination of 5 key natural ingredients found in no other product for relief you can feel, backed by 5 clinical studies. For your complimentary 2-week sample of Instaflex Advanced, text SUPER to 321321.
Don't wait while your stiff, achy joints get worse. Target the root cause with Instaflex Advanced today. It's so powerful you could feel the difference in just 1 week. Maybe that's why it's the #1 selling joint brand at GNC.
But you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by texting SUPER to 321321. That's SUPER to 321321. Do it now.
Lowe's knows you're the deal hunter who does things right, who's armed with research and finally ready to roll. We do it right too, with huge savings on the brands you want. So happy hunting. Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Argentina, Ecuador. An anticipated matchup to measure strengths and weaknesses before the qualifiers. Argentina versus Ecuador today on beIN Sports. The World SBK Championship is reaching the end of the 2019 season. And next Saturday, the stage is set in Argentina to host the 12th round of the year. The race for the Manufacturing Championship is still on. Kawasaki versus Ducati. Who will prevail? The SBK World Championship, the Argentinian round, today on beIN Sports.
The international soccer break is over. It means that club football is back on beIN Sports. Next Saturday, the Culés must show Eibar the performance delivered against Sevilla in order to chase Real Madrid for the first place of the standings. Eibar versus Barcelona on beIN Sports.
Well, it is a very promising generation of Nigerian players who feel they can play against anyone, and tonight they're proving it in the National Stadium. So, spitting image of Mo Salah.
It's like a mixture of Mo Salah and Fregi, the Brazilian striker.
Meanwhile, here's a look at the best action from the opening half. 3 minutes in, Everton on the build-up. It was intended for Everton from Neymar, but Firmino takes it himself, just wide.
A touch of class from the Liverpool player. You expect the layoff back to Everton. Instead, He twists and turns the center back, Semi Ajayi, and shot just a little bit wide. It's a good piece of play from Alex Iwobi to find Victor Osimhen. Thiago Silva takes a slip. The Nigerian uncorks one. Ederson makes a really good low save there.
Osimhen plays like he has a force field around him. Meanwhile, Neymar pulled up here, immediately went for or reached for his hamstring and was subbed out, replaced by Coutinho.
Yeah, doesn't want to take any risks. Has had his PSG career blighted by injuries, and he's trying to win over those fans after the long-distance relationship with Barcelona and a potential return.
Samu Chukwueze flings this in. Marquinhos makes a bit of a hash out of it, just over the bar, as Ederson breathes a sigh of relief.
Unusual mistake from Marquinhos. This would be the moment of the goal. Osimhen on the right-hand side runs the channel, puts in a cross to Moses Simon, who finds a streaking Joe Aribo, and he puts it in the back of the net.
Watch this really good feat from Aribo. Quickly gathers up through traffic and scores his second international goal on his second cap. So at the break, it's Brazil 0, Nigeria 1.
That's our thing.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Introducing the future of fitness. It's every class you can imagine. Live.
Welcome back to the Mirror.
You've got this, John.
And on demand. It's boxing, cardio, yoga, and more. It's an interactive, goal-crushing, whole family, whole body fitness machine.
It's so cool.
The future of fitness is at home. The Mirror.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can tell you.
The return leg of this battle continues on beIN Sports. Boca Juniors versus River Plate on beIN Sports.
Hello! Listen to this, my friends. beIN Sport is giving away to 5 lucky fans a round trip to Europe to watch the best La Liga and Ligue 1 matches. 5 rounds, 5 chances, 5 winners, once in a lifetime opportunity. Visit beINGoldenTicket.com to participate and for more information. Unbelievable! Stop dreaming. beIN Golden Ticket takes you to watch the best players on earth.
Next Saturday, the best international soccer is here. After a great victory, Zidane's squad is on the top of the table. Now, the Merengues must keep the momentum going as they face off with Mallorca. Mallorca versus Real Madrid. La Liga on beIN Sports.
Welcome back to live coverage of the Brazil Global Tour. Meanwhile, our international friendly coverage continues on beIN Sports today at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's Argentina against Ecuador in the South American clash on beIN Sports and beIN Sports in Espanol, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. in the Pacific. And meanwhile, mark your calendars as shortly after the international break goes in the rear view. The first Clásico of the season coming up October 26th as Barcelona hosts Real Madrid from the Camp Nou in the Catalan capital. And again, it's the first Clásico for 2 of the 4 men in your picture, Antoine Griezmann and Eden Hazard, the blockbuster signings in La Liga as far as Barca and Madrid are concerned. Do join us for that on the 26th. Stick around, second half kicks off on the other side of this break.
every time it's been way too long. A Corona gets its lime. Every time you're not related, but you're definitely family. Every time you meet from across the party. Every time all of us is all we need. And every time your favorite place is more about who than where. A Corona gets its lime.
Support your favorite college at Fanatics.com. The largest assortment of officially licensed fan gear from more than 500 colleges. Every conference, every team. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Cover it up. That's what I did when I started losing my hair. Then I realized I could actually do something. Now I use Keeps, the easiest way to keep my hair. And it only costs $1 a day, which means no more covering up. Get started at Keeps.com.
This isn't just another soccer show. This is a soccer obsession. This is where we eat, sleep, soccer, repeat. The who, what, when, where, how of the beautiful game. Highlights, we got it. Replays, we got it. Analysis, got that too. The Soccer Extra, weekends on beIN Sports.
Argentina, Ecuador. The road to 2022 starts here on beIN Sports. And today, a South American classic you don't want to miss. An anticipated matchup to measure strengths and weaknesses before the qualifiers. Argentina versus Ecuador today on beIN Sports.
Welcome back to your Express halftime report. It is Brazil 0, Nigeria 1. The goal by Joe Aribo in the 35th minute. The difference between these two sides after 45 minutes. Plenty more possession for Brazil. 70-30 split their way. They've had twice as many shots as Nigeria, but level in shots on target, and Nigeria lead where it counts. No yellow cards in that first half, though maybe Janssen Fu taking a lenient view of a couple of challenges. Well, we'll take a quick commercial break. Take a second look at the goal. And we'll be back with the start of the second half right after this.
Lowe's knows you're the deal hunter who does things right, who's armed with research and finally ready to roll. We do it right too, with huge savings on the brands you want. So happy hunting.
Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Bicycling is the best way to travel, and it's great exercise. But it's hard to find space for that big, bulky bike. You need Bike Nook Bicycle Stand. Bike Nook frees up to 3.5 feet of valuable floor space instantly. Roll the back wheel of the bike onto the Bike Nook ramp, then roll the bike backwards until it's secure on the vertical brace. Bike Nook stores your bike instantly in a space-saving handstand position. Are you constantly banging into your bike? Get up and away with Bike Nook.
Available online at Amazon.
When the world is watching and you need your logo to be perfect, you need certainty. At 4imprint, we give you the ultimate guarantee. Because when something has your logo on it, it matters. To you, your customers, your coworkers, and to us. Our wide selection always changes to keep up with the latest trends. But there is one thing we delivered that's timeless. Certainty. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. 4imprint. For certainty.
Lowe's knows you're the deal hunter who does things right, who's armed with research and finally ready to roll. We do it right too, with huge savings on the brands you want. So happy hunting.
শিশির কে তুমি কি চেনো না ফুটবল ক্রিকেটে দুর্বারে শিশির তবুও থমকে দাঁড়ায় না তরুণ শিশিরকে তুমি কি চেনো না যুবক শিশিরকে তুমি কি চেনো না তুমি কি চেনো না সকালের সূর্যটা চোখ মেলে দেখো না সবুজ ওই ঘাসেতে শিশিরের মূর্ছনা সকালের সূর্যটা চোখ মেলে দেখো না সবুজ ওই ঘাসেতে শিশিরের মূর্ছনা তরুণ কান পেতে তুমি কি শোনো না যুবক কান পেতে তুমি কি শোনো না ফুটবল ক্রিকেটে দুর্বারে শিশির ডাকছে শিশির ছুটে শোনা তরুণ শিশিরকে তুমি কি চেনো না যুবক
Needs to change for Brazil.
Well, I think it has to do with speed, with explosiveness. They've moved well off the ball, as we just saw there, but they haven't done it with a lot of speed.
A quick switch now for Renan Lodi. Early ball in across the grain, and looks as though Coutinho left it. So too did Richarlison. And back the other way comes the goal scorer Aribo, working here against Dani Alves.
What a brilliant ball that was from Renan Lodi.
Iwobi pings off of Marquinhos, now working against Artur.
That's a good idea.
Aribo doesn't continue his run. He's being tracked very closely. There's Richarlison.
And like Gabriel Jesus, Richarlison playing on the wing. He's been reinvented in that position by Chichi.
Coutinho. Nawaziem seemed to push him off the ball. Here's Aribo. Aribo. Simon was the intended target. Moses Simon had a part to play in that goal as well. Was credited with the assist. Here's Gabriel Jesus. Sprinting past Collins into the area, looking for his options. Collins staying step for step.
That initial burst of speed from Gabriel Jesus is absolutely lethal. Collins is just fast and can catch up, but the way he gets past the defender so easily is so impressive, and that's why he is factored in this 11 on that right-hand side.
Coutinho. Alves. Flipped into the heart of the area. Strong header off the woodwork. Still loose. And Casemiro draws them level.
Well, that initial header from Marquinhos, I believe, smacks off the woodwork and bounces right into the feet of Casemiro. We said in the first half, he's a defensive midfielder, but no stranger to goals, especially during set-piece routines. And that's exactly what this was. A short corner to Dani Alves, who raffles it into the box. And it's Marquinhos who gets away from Ajay. Just carves out a little bit of space. Beautiful looping header. And then it's Richarlison and Casemiro battling out for the leftovers, with the Real Madrid man getting stuck in, putting a boot in, and tallying.
Well, Brazil back on level terms. Casemiro gets his third international goal now in his 45th appearance. And two of those three goals have come just over these last couple of games. He scored the opener against Colombia in that 2-2 draw. Back on the score sheet again tonight for just the third time for country. Indeed, he commits the foul here and more danger on the way from Brazil.
You asked me, Dre, what Brazil had to do differently, and I said they have to inject some explosiveness into the game. Gabriel Jesus with that opportunity one-on-one against Collins, turns on the afterburners, wins the corner, and lo and behold, we have a goal. And I think we'll see more of this from Brazil. Now let's see whether Nigeria can come out of this locker room with a little bit of intensity, the kind of intensity that saw them close out a very good first half.
Or will they be deflated by the equalizer? 4 on the wall for Uzo. It's in the books for Deportivo La Coruña in the Spanish Segunda, but on loan in Cyprus. Ball flung in, edge of the 6, looking for Thiago Silva.
It's Awaziem who gets there first. He's been picture perfect. The right back from Leganés.
Well, save for that one time when Gabriel Jesus sat him down. He has not put a foot wrong.
That is true. Went in for that tackle, a rash move on his part.
Coutinho making the run in between the lines. Instead, it's Renan Lodi on the near side. Marquinhos. Typically, when these two play together, whether for Brazil or Paris Saint-Germain, Thiago Silva's on the left and Marquinhos on the right. It's how they started the game today, but they noticed something early on and switched position to two Brazilian center backs. They've stayed in that dynamic.
You made that observation earlier, and it's a good one. It had a lot to do with the speed of Chukwueze on that right-hand side.
Offside flag is up here against Gabriel Jesus. What do you make of this version of Gabriel Jesus, wearing the number 9 on his back, but playing as a right winger in the last couple of games for Chichi?
Well, what's interesting is that after years of searching for a number 9 to complement all the talents that Brazil had at their disposal, you saw in 2014 Fregi getting called back to the Brazilian national team. They found somebody in Gabriel Jesus, but as Bobby Firmino began to create his own highlight reels at Liverpool, the way he linked up the play of Sadio Mane on the left and Mohamed Salah on the right-hand side, two wingers who love to cut in but love to stretch the field with their runs. Chichi saw in him an ingredient that I think would get the most out of Neymar on the left-hand side, obviously Everton in Copa America, and somebody on the right-hand side. Now, Richarlison was tried in that position, but it was Gabriel Jesus who, once placed as that right winger, won that spot, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he can cut in easily into the middle. He has a lot of variety to the way that he attacks goal, and I think this will be his position of the future, at least as long as Bobby Firmino keeps delivering the goods.
Line splitting pass from Marquinhos. Here's Renan Lodi.
A little lengthy, that explanation, but...
Well, that aside, the interesting thing is I recall covering the Copa America in Chile in 2015, and all the talk was that Firmino wasn't an out-and-out striker. Here's Coutinho. Now Renan Lodi squared back across the green. Coutinho left it and intercepted by Aribo. And what I mean by that is that he was more of a second striker than a center forward to lead the line. Samu Chukwueze in behind Richarlison. Aribo. Chukwueze. Osimhen makes the run. We're looking to find him. Nicely timed jump by Osimhen, but needed more power on the shot to trouble Ederson.
This is all Chukwueze once again. He has had the devil in his boots on this right-hand side. Perfect cross as well to Osimhen, who is camped out in the middle of two center backs, still manages to get his meaty forehead on that, but can't get enough power on it. Oh, it's going to be hard to beat Ederson from that distance, especially when you're battling it out in an aerial duel against two fantastic center backs.
In terms of height, he only has an inch advantage over Marquinhos and Thiago Silva. As Victor Osimhen, he timed it well enough.
Well, Marquinhos has springs in his boots, it seems. We saw him win that header that led to the goal. For me, one of the most underrated players in world football, Marquinhos, not only for what he gives you as a center back. He's only 25 years old, by the way, which just shows you how long he's been around, but also in the defensive midfield when he's called to play in that position.
Define underrated. He snubbed Barcelona to join Paris Saint-Germain.
That's a good point.
Here's Awaziem, who just runs out of room.
Well, I'll put it this way. He wasn't included in the FIFA Best 11, and he should have been.
Right. He was one of the first names on the team sheet for Thomas Tuchel last season on the back line, and after they set Adrien Rabiot aside, he became one of the first names on the team sheet in midfield.
Created that position for him out of necessity. Tuchel having to deal with the fact that the board wouldn't let Rabiot play.
Gabriel Jesus here against Collins. Bit of help from Simon. Dani Alves. Tried to leave it for Dani Alves. Casemiro. Hit forward, but not enough on it. Artur. Coutinho, lovely touch to get away from Ndidi and to find Renan Lodi. Early cross into the middle. Chance for a second. Coutinho swings and misses, and indeed he clears the danger. That should have been 2.
That would have been a beautiful goal had Ndidi not been there at the nick of time. No player has put in more tackles in the Premier League this season than the Leicester defensive midfielder.
And again, this time Ekong deals with the danger. Here is Ndidi. Destroyer, sure, but he's also got a couple of goals for Leicester this season. He scored against Chelsea and Newcastle.
And he had...
Alves draws the foul here, and it'll be a free kick for Brazil.
Huge boots to fill because he was brought into Leicester to replace N'Golo Kante, who left for Chelsea. Just puts his foot in just the right time. Long legs from Ndidi.
Right, Ndidi does get a touch here first. The ball harmlessly wide, but it will be a corner for Brazil.
Trying to find Richarlison. The ball gets deflected.
10 minutes gone in the second half, and Brazil ramping up the pressure against Nigeria.
We're starting to see Coutinho grow into this game. It was a little bit of a slow start after that substitution.
Here is Coutinho. Early cross, back post, and it's down, denied by Uzoho. That's a terrific save. Reflexes from Francis Uzoho to deny Marquinhos.
Unbelievable save from Uzoho. We've seen 3 great saves so far. That header.
Take a look here. It's actually Gabriel Jesus who gets there. Marquinhos is just behind him. And difficult for the goalkeeper as it bounces on the floor right in front of him. Thiago Silva coming across in front of Osimhen.
I don't think Gabriel Jesus hits that ball as cleanly as he would have liked. But Uzoho still has to make a fabulous save. We've seen Ederson make 1 excellent save and 2 from Uzoho. And that's a mistake right there from Collins, who should have been closer, should have been behind Gabriel Jesus.
You mentioned Coutinho growing in influence. He's created the last 2 chances now for Brazil. One to Renan Lodi, which he almost got on the end of, and now one to Gabriel Jesus, which again could have been a second goal for Brazil. Here they come again with Gabriel Jesus. Lodi. Richarlison from the edge of the area. Looking here against Ekong across the green, back post, and Firmino not able to get there.
That's a red carpet invitation from Richarlison. What a ball from the Everton man.
Felt he was fouled here, but not going to get the call. There was contact from Moses Simon. There's another look as Firmino may be a little late to react. Collins just in front of him.
Renan Lodi also seems to be a little bit more comfortable in that left back position, with Coutinho drifting more centrally and Richarlison coming in.
And more on Renan Lodi in a moment, but let's take a look at this approach from Lodi. Coutinho. Recently, a very candid interview by Diego Simeone with Spanish radio, which talked a bit about everything, and among those things, saying Renan Lodi, as Dani Alves looked for the run of Gabriel Jesus, that Lodi was ready to leave Madrid just days after arriving, just not happy with the situation he was in, but he's worked through it, and now he's won that left-back starting role under Cholo Simeone.
He was homesick, the Brazilian, only 21 years old. Difficult to move to a completely different continent. His girlfriend had stayed behind, I believe. That makes things harder.
Meanwhile, here's Dani Alves. And Collins making an important intervention to deal with the cross.
And this is an all-out assault now from Brazil on Uzoho's goal. And every single one of these Nigerian defenders has to be attentive.
Lodi, by the way, just to wrap up the point, putting in some wonderful performances in the Recopa Sudamericana. The ball comes in, and there's off the woodwork again. This time Casemiro denied. The deflection shot from Richarlison and out wide, but the goalkeeper is down. Uzoho is going to need some attention here. Well, Richarlison had the first chance, denied by the woodwork. Rather, Casemiro did. Richarlison the second.
And does Richarlison make contact with Uzoho here, who comes out? I'm not so sure. I think he falls awkwardly, though.
Just a little twist of that knee as Uzoho hits the ground. Take a look here.
Yeah, nothing in that whatsoever. It's the fall afterwards that Hurts Uzo as he's come down. Twisted knee, it seems.
And Casemiro nearly doubled his international tally in this match, but this time denied by the crossbar, and Richarlison's shot was deflected out.
Thundering header from Casemiro, who comes in, no holds barred.
Oh, meanwhile, as Uzoho is getting some attention, Brazil are ready to make their third substitution, and it's going to be Gabriel Barbosa. You may know him as Gabigol. He picked up the nickname after scoring some 300 goals for Santos' youth system. Now, the top scorer in the Brasileirão with Flamengo on loan from Inter Milan. Meanwhile, it looks as though they will have to make a change in goal. You saw the gesture there from Rohr. Uzoho will likely be swapped out, and the Waziem confirms it. That twist of the knee, it looks as though his toes come down first, and the leg's not supposed to bend that way.
No. And you have to hope that it's just an hyperextension and not something more serious when he comes down like that. A big loss it would be for Omonia Nicosia in the Cypriot League. You know, one of the things about Gabigol is he gets ready to check in, that he seems to me to be the kind of player, and I'm basing this completely on the relationship that he has forged with Jorge Jesus. He seems to be the kind of player who needs the kind of manager who will put an arm around him and give him the kind of confidence and affection that some players need in order to do well. He did not get that in Italy, so he never managed to score as prolifically as he did for Santos.
So Roberto Firmino makes way.
There's no question about this young man's talent. He's showing it for Mingo.
And Flamengo still alive in the semi-finals of the Copa Libertadores. Gabriel was still in the youth teams when Neymar won that Libertadores title with Santos. That also included Ganso. Now maybe a chance for him to win the biggest club prize in South American football. Of course, they're taking on Everton's Grêmio. Well, sad to see that Francis Uzoho has to abandon the pitch on a stretcher, and checking in to replace him is the debutant, the 20-year-old German-born goalkeeper, Aduka Okoye, Fortuna Düsseldorf man who hasn't actually featured for Fortuna Düsseldorf's first team yet, but he's about to make his international debut.
He is a giant of a man. Looks well built.